Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me is Chris, and Nick is going to be joining real soon. He's just getting something done real quick. So yeah, and hey,
Nice.
let me catch up with comments here. Hey, Thomas, thanks for joining. Hey, Santiago, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Leon, hey, doing great. Yeah, like 4th of July this week, and so I figured we should cover a 4th of July movie. And one of the best 4th of July movies. Oh, hey, how's it going? Especially in Garter Sauce. One of the best examples of a 4th of July movie is the 1997 horror slasher hit "I Know What You Did Last Summer."
Great movie. Haven't watched
Oh
it
yeah,
for months yet, but I love it.
oh yeah. It was actually written by Kevin Williamson, who also wrote Scream. And so oh yeah, he did he wrote all sorts of things involving teens. He wrote The Faculty. Let's see. He also wrote Dawson's Creek, that hit show from the 90s.
Right.
Yeah. And let's see. I believe he also wrote what was it? Yeah, Vampire Diaries. So he's done a lot of great work. I know. The man is truly amazing. Yeah, hang on.
Okay. I'm just refreshing my memory real quick. I'm reading the plot summary.
I got you. Well, yeah. Well, the summary of it is that a bunch of teens are celebrating their high school graduation on 4th of July, and as they're driving down along a hillside road, one of the guys who was too drunk to drive, he was like in his new car, so he was like sticking himself out of the sunroof and dropped his bottle of liquor and landed on Freddie Prinze Jr. And they ended up crashing into into a man on the side of the road. And
that's right.
Yep, I'm back.
Okay, hey Nick.
That's right.
And yeah, sorry, I accidentally shut the laptop off, and that caused me to log off. But I'm downstairs in the basement and just setting everything up right now. So again, I'll be on, and I'll still be here. You just won't see me for the first couple minutes.
I got you. Yeah, let me catch up with some of the comments. Love this movie. Yep, I'm having a good day. Hey, how's it going, Billy? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Joe.
I totally remember this movie now. Hey, Joe.
Here, I'll get to that question in a second, Billy. Here. Okay. I Know What You Did Last Summer is pop culture, especially in Scary Movie. Yes, this was parodied along with several other things in Scary Movie. That is true. They parodied this on and they even parodied this on a Halloween episode of The Simpsons, as I recall.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then they just randomly threw in a werewolf twist in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't this become a TV series too?
Yeah, they did make a TV series out of this, and
they
made two sequels. Yeah, they made two sequels.
They make a lot of sense of the werewolf, but at the same time, it's the Simpsons you have to remember.
Yeah, but they did make two official sequels to this movie. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, released a year later, and then there's that god awful 2006 straight to video sequel. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, God,
that one was horrible.
That one jumped more into the supernatural instead of just like the jump scare.
It didn't even have any connections with the first two. So, I don't even know why they made it to begin with.
Exactly. Yeah. They just made a sequel for the sake of making a sequel, and that's it. I mean,
the killer made some money.
Yeah. It's like even the reveal. Yeah, even the reveal in the end was stupid. All they did was it's like they tried to make this kind of build up, but in the end, it was so disappointing. Turns out that the killer was undead Ben Willis, the killer from the first two movies. Even after being shot to death by Jennifer Love Hewitt, he just comes back. He just comes back as this undead zombie entity to go ahead and to travel all the way over to Colorado, targeting a group of kids who had nothing to do with anything that happened in the first two movies.
Jeez.
That's why I liked it. Colorado.
So stupid. That's incredibly stupid.
I'm glad I never saw it.
Yeah, you didn't miss a lot. I remember watching the TV show. And I fell asleep binge watching it and woke up on the last episode, and so I spoiled myself basically. I was like, man, now I know who the killer is or whatever.
I would, so Billy, I would like to know. Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah.
And let's see. The actress who played Buffy, is coming to. Oh, is she?
Wow.
Who played Buffy from Scary Movie? Oh, yeah, that was Shannon Elizabeth. Yes, that's awesome.
We have a lot of people coming up this weekend for one in Denver, and I can't remember who all's there now, but it'd be some people you'd recognize, Don.
I'm sure.
Hey, Braxton. Good to see you, Braxton. Let's see. Okay, what was your idea, Billy? Here it takes place years after the events, and still, what I know what you did last summer. Julie James arrested and committed to because of the murders of the second film. Huh.
Well, here's something I'm going to bring up because they actually were in talks of wanting to do like a sequel, like obviously like over 25 years later, I think. And I actually have if they haven't came up with a title yet, I actually have a real good title for what that potential true sequel could be. I'll never forget what you did.
Like that
last summer. Yeah, I just realized it would be too, but it would still be a good title. I'll never forget what you did that last summer.
It's a good title.
Yeah. I believe. Yeah, like that would be a nice little throwback to the original because I believe the note that that was found with what was it? David Egan's body said, "I'll never forget what you did last summer."
Yeah,
it was something like that. Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't used that as the title in some way, or maybe not last summer, but maybe that summer.
Yeah, that summer. That makes more sense.
It would make more sense that way. Yeah.
Yes. And Jennifer Love Hewitt is a Texas native. Yes. That's that's right. Yeah,
she was my crush when I was younger. I was so.
Oh yeah, she was young. She was 18 at the time this movie was made. So it's good to see a teen slasher that actually has teens in it.
Yeah, actually has high school kids. Yeah.
And then follows a group of college kids one by one as an aspiring writer. Excellently hidden is responsible. Oh yeah, that would be like a throwback to what Billy's saying. Would kind of be a throwback to the original novel, which by the way was written in I believe 1973. Yeah, that's what this started off as.
73.
Yeah,
73.
It was written by Lois Duncan, where there were a group of teens who hit someone, but instead of it being a vengeful fisherman, it was a innocent kid on a bike.
What's really cool? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dad. Go ahead.
Yeah. And apparently, Lois Duncan, the author, is not a fan of the film adaptation. They just threw in the whole fisherman thing. Like it was. They just made this very loosely based on the novel.
Yeah, sadly, Lois Duncan, I think she just recently passed away about 2 years ago now. So sadly, she's no longer with us.
I see.
And the other thing too is that because you brought up about the novel, I've actually read the book. I read it back in middle school, and it's kind of crazy to think that was part of our class assignment in 7th grade. And we read I Know What You Did last summer. So the cool part is I got to read the book first before I got to ever see the movie. And I definitely
that's always nice.
And it definitely had quite a difference between the film and the book.
Oh yes. And there were no fishermen in the book, like I said.
No, there wasn't. Well, it's funny, even though it was made back in the early 70s, the cover of the book, there's like 2 different covers of the book. First, they do have that appearance of the fisherman. Yet it has nothing to do with the book. It's obviously a reference to the movie. And then the book, and then the second, more modern version is nothing more than just the poster that you see from the film. Again, even though it's got little to nothing to do with in connection other than like what you said, Don.
Right. And yes, Santi, this movie does have summer vibes going with it, and also it deals with some realities of people who drift apart over time, because that was happening within just a year after the events from the accident. The 4 kids who committed it. Julie, Helen, Ray, and Barry. Yeah, they just drifted apart from one another after that.
Yes,
and that actually does happen in real life. I've seen it happen. And let's see. And as far as the characters, let's go over the cast. So as we know, 18-year-old Jennifer Love Hewitt is in this. This is like her first major role, and it was also first major role for Freddie Prinze Jr. And he met his future wife in this, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and
Buffy.
Who then and eventually they got married in 2002, the same year where they both started a movie together in the live action Scooby-Doo as Daphne and Fred.
I like that movie.
Oh yeah, where they also worked with let's see, what was his name? Oh yeah, Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard, who played Stu in Scream, which was also had the same writer of this movie.
Yep. Nice little interweaving.
Oh yeah. I mean, 1997 was a major year for Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, she started not only this, but also the same year was Scream 2, where she played Cece, that sorority girl who got thrown out the window, or not out the window, off the balcony. Yeah, she got thrown off the balcony by Ghostface. And then let's see. Oh, and also this 1997 was when Buffy the Vampire Slayer started.
Oh wow, the TV show, I assume. Yeah.
Yep. So that was like big year for her career.
Yeah, it was quite the year, especially with the success of Scream just a year before.
We already showed this, Billy.
It was almost like a real revival for the slasher craze that we saw, we saw in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Linda Cardellini. Oh yeah. Yeah. There was another familiar face in this was Johnny Galecki, who played Max. Yeah, the guy who had the hots for Julie. Oh, here. Yeah. Hey, Tom.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, Tom?
Hey, Tom.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's going on?
Long time no see.
Yeah.
What's going on is Nick's invisible. So
I noticed that. Well, he's in his nightie and he doesn't want us to see. That's what's really going on, And he's got his cold cream on his face. He doesn't want anybody. What?
Wait, hang on a sec. I heard that. What did you say?
I said, Don said you're invisible. I said that's because Nick is in his nightie and he doesn't want us to see. He's got his cold cream on his face. He's doing his beautifying.
No, hell no, I'm not.
He's got the curlers in his hair and everything.
Thank God, no.
He's looking like Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. When
my God.
That's right. You gotta be.
Well, here's the real question, Tom. How do you know that? Have you lived that lifestyle?
Well, no. See, we installed some hidden cameras in your basement and your bedroom while you were away the other night when you were out and you didn't come play golf with us. And you were, we had Nick. Yeah, we had Don sneak over and he installed some cameras. And
yep. Hey. Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire is finally getting the long-awaited sequel.
So, hello.
I'm almost done though.
Now things have been a little weird with me, man. Like I put out a video. Today's Tuesday. Yesterday morning at 8:00. By 9:00, it had 200 views. Right now, as it stands, this is like tripping me out like crazy. I have 1,939 views on this video.
Really?
I don't know what happened, but my channel just blew the heck up.
Wow, nice. Awesome.
So
now let's hope that it happens.
So how many subscribers is that now?
Now it is 2,086.
Wow, it's going fast for you.
I know, and I hope it keeps going that way.
Hey, I told you, Tommy, what happened? I told you.
Yeah, I got it. It's a semi-viral video, I guess. Yeah.
He's got a point there.
How did you know?
I had a semi-virus one time.
it happens,
Yeah.
Yeah, let me catch up with some comments here. Bunch of people are laughing. Here. That's nice. Let's see. Another. Okay. It was in the 90s. He would have Axe the Pilgrims. We're still in Turkey. Went. Oh, okay.
Wait.
Wow, someone put a roll of quarters in you, Tom.
Just boom, boom.
Wait for it to blow up the toilet. What did you do last? Oh, okay. Yeah, but so and I know what you did last summer. Some kids run over someone and then they had to dispose of the body. Oh, here. Hey, Jeremy.
Whoa.
Jeremy.
Whoa.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
lack of a beard.
Yep, I made it.
You got the porn stash going and everything, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's something that I do for the bowling tournament every year. I do something different with my facial features. and this mustache is actually a thin mustache, and I'm doing that for my dad because that's what he always does.
It looks cool though.
It looks good.
Wow, check it out.
Everybody says I look like
Nick's got his 90 on, so
No, I don't.
Oh, so now he's naked.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh
wow.
wow.
Apologies, Don. Apologies.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm only just dropping by here for a few minutes, and I'm in the hotel finally a couple hours ago.
Nice.
Just got back in from eating dinner. There's a steak and shake inside this casino.
Well, yeah.
Cool.
For just for context here, guys. Yeah, Jeremy is in Vegas, so yeah. I hope Vegas is treating you well, Jeremy.
How was it?
Well, we'll see. So far, the weather isn't treating me well. It's 107 degrees.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's hot there. My sister lives out there.
Yeah, so everybody that I've been talking to, I've told when I get to the casino, once I park my car, it's staying there until it's time to go because I am not going outside.
Oh, I can
don't blame
imagine.
Oh man.
Yeah. But luckily, everything is inside this building. There's like 20 restaurants, so I don't need to go anywhere.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
a lot of those hotels in Vegas have like malls inside them and stuff like that.
Oh,
I don't like your view from your hotel room.
One mall that's really cool to go to is at Planet Hollywood, and they got this circular mall where it's inside, but it looks like you're outside the way that it's decorated.
Oh, cool.
And it looks realistic. There were times where I actually thought I was outside.
Wow.
I just saw a podcast earlier where a guy was talking about it just recently being there and staying at Planet Hollywood, and he was saying, "Man, you don't need to go anywhere." He said,
Right, exactly. That's how it is. I'm staying at the South Point Casino, which is the very last thing you see in Vegas before you actually go out into the country. Well, actually, it's almost sort of like in the country as it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and I've seen that Heart Attack Grill that is on Fremont Street, and the Fremont Street experience is definitely something to go to. But I'm not going this year. It's too damn hot.
Yeah,
I was about to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially those kind of temperatures. Like, yeah, I don't blame you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that dressed.
Yep. So
if any of you guys have seen my post that I put up a couple hours ago, I got a great view of the city of Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I got a huge window. It starts at the floor almost up to the ceiling, and I'm going to be able to see the fireworks from there.
That's awesome.
How high up are you?
You don't even have to travel far for it.
I ain't going anywhere.
Exactly.
My ass is staying inside these walls, inside the casino until Friday morning.
Oh man.
What floor are you on?
24th.
Oh, fuck that. I can't.
Oh,
sorry. To hell with that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
There's 25 floors on this thing.
My fear
If I may
heights.
ask-
No.
If I may ask real quick, how was the drive, Jeremy?
Drive wasn't bad at all. There was there's quite a bit of construction on the way, but only twice, I think, that we actually came to a stop. But both times that did not last long at all.
That's good.
That's good.
Otherwise, it's been fine. Today is actually the first day since I started on Friday that I did not experience any rain.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Nick, really love audience here is like saying they love what you did with your outfit.
I always do that for
That's
my
right.
audience. And look who just decided to show up, believe it or not.
Oh,
What's
here.
up, Joe?
Hey Joe.
Oh, he said, well, if Tom can go on, I'm going on too.
Well, no, I actually came because Jeremy was talking about Vegas there for a minute, and I wanted to say, when we were down there, it wasn't this time of year, but it was still hot in February back in 2010.
Oh, I believe it. People are telling me that it's unusually hot now. It normally doesn't get this hot until about August.
When you got dry heat, though, it makes a lot of difference compared to the humidity that like we have in Wisconsin or some other places,
That is one thing we are lucky down here. The humidity, I don't feel much humidity, so it is just a dry heat.
Yeah.
It gets thick here.
So that is a plus. But how long that lasts, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, here I wanted to get to this comment here. Oh, here. I do love this scene where. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, the urban legend of the Hook. I know exactly. And that that movie is based off that urban legend.
And every one of them kept saying, "No, that's not the way it was. It was this way." And
Yeah,
no, it was this way.
Everybody was telling their own version of it. I believe this was actually featured in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
I was just about to say it was featured in the very first. You just took the words right out of my mouth. It was featured in the first book. That's correct.
But every region has their own whatever of that story anyway.
It's a popular legend among college campuses.
And Braxton, I will be going to Louisiana next year, but I will be going in March before it gets stupid crazy.
Yeah, because he said like 107 degrees sounds like Louisiana, and he lives down in Louisiana.
Yeah, the whole group was requesting that we go early so that we do miss out on that humidity because it gets bad. In fact, one of the guys that's bowling in my group this year, they live in Baton Rouge.
Oh.
Yeah. And what is that, a programming line?
And they're also going to be bowling about the same time that we are.
Rest in peace, 90s. I want to teleport to the 90s. Oh, yeah.
90s equal, yes.
Yeah. No, you want to go to the 80s.
I mean,
you want to go to the 80s.
Well,
much better.
Well, 90s were simple times, too.
Or the 80s.
Yeah. Well, 90s were simple times for me, too. I mean, back when this movie came out, I was only 5 years old.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I still remember the advertisements.
I saw it in the theater.
In fact,
those people are on the bottom tonight, Tom.
Speaking of stories, I know what you did last summer. That's really the reason why I kind of jumped on here. A few weeks ago, I finally got the book. I know what you did last summer.
The novel by Lois Duncan.
Yes, I'm going to be reading it later on sometime this year. I don't know when, but I do know that it is vastly different from the movie.
It is.
And that the author was very displeased with it. He walked out of the theater saying, "That is not my book."
Yep.
Yeah, we were actually talking about it not too long ago. And Jeremy, I could share that experience because when I was in middle school, before I ever saw the film, I actually did read the book in 7th grade. So I know exactly what you mean by that. And it definitely is different than what you see in the film.
Yes, here. In fact,
that's always the case.
I didn't even know it was a book until about 15 years after I seen the movie.
Yeah.
Same.
And I actually do have the trailer for the movie here. Like we can see just get an idea for the movie, just how different it is from the book. So here's the trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer.
So the boy and girl are making out, right? When they hear over the radio that this lunatic killer's escaped from an insane asylum.
That's not the way it goes. The boy goes for help, and the girl stays in the car, and she hears this, like, scratching sound.
No, he's been decapitated. No, he was gutted with a hook.
What's wrong with you? Watch out!
Oh my God.
You think he's dead?
We can't just leave him here.
Oh, tell me, little Miss Prelaw, what's the charge for manslaughter? We make a pact. Right here and now we take this to our grave.
For the last year, 4 friends have kept a secret.
Are you on drugs? No. Well, then what is wrong? I've had a rough year.
But not all secrets stay buried.
Somebody sent this to me. Oh my God. Someone knows.
I Know What You Did Last Summer? Ooh.
What they thought would be a new beginning
Toast to us.
is becoming a dead end.
Somebody tried to kill you last night. We have to go to the police.
If you want to be dead, he could have done it.
And the mistake they made
It was an accident.
There was no accident. It was murder.
What if he's still alive? Hey! What are you doing here?
is coming back to haunt them.
Oh my God.
He's after me too. I got a letter. I got run over. Helen gets her hair chopped off. Julie gets a body in a trunk and you get a letter? That's balanced.
She's waiting for us to unravel. The wait is over. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Hello?
I know what you did last summer.
Wow.
I haven't seen that trailer in years, but I still remember it though.
Oh, you unmuted
Still that
me
part where
after
she
I
yells.
said
I
that.
love that the best.
Yeah, I still
When
remember
we came back, I said, like Zoink Scoob, that looked like Fred and Daphne.
I was. And I still
Well,
remember
watching that trailer reminds me of how much of a classic it is.
Mhm.
And at the same time, it is very reminiscent of how The Shining is, with The Shining being the movie being so different from the book.
Yep.
It's better in some ways, it's worse in some ways, and I think is basically the same thing with this movie.
That's always the case, though, between the book and the movie, though. You know what I mean? Whether it's like horror, drama, comedy, whatever the case is, it's never the same.
It was also like I said, it was also a 90s take on slasher films like we saw in the 80s. So, you know, especially again with the release and success of Scream just the year before.
See, even in the 90s, they knew the 80s were great. I'm just
you actually.
I am willing to bet that if Scream did not become as successful as it was, this movie would never have been made.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Williamson also wrote that. He wrote both those movies, Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh, and I've been wondering this for years, Special Agent Carter Sauce. My biggest question is how the hell did the killer move the body from the trunk in broad daylight without anyone seeing him? Yeah, when Julie finds Max's body in the trunk, that scene full of when he was still covered in crabs, and then when she goes to get Barry and Helen and then there's nothing in the trunk. So how the hell did the killer just move that body undetected in broad daylight?
Like
Two words for you. Two words. Movie magic.
Right. I was just going to say, like Doug Henning would have said in the 80s, it's magic.
Very much. And I also like how Max was played by Johnny Galecki, who around, I believe 1997 was the year when Roseanne ended. He was in Roseanne. I believe he was also in Christmas Vacation. Yeah, he
Big
was
Bang Theory.
Yeah, and 10 years after this movie was when he began what is arguably his biggest TV role as Leonard in The Big Bang Theory.
Now I'm going to ask you, all of you guys, a question, and then I'm going to head out. Who did it better? Certain scenes there on I Know What You Did Last Summer, or in Scary Movie?
Oh,
I'm going to go with I Know What You Did Last Summer. Certain scenes.
Oh yeah.
Because when they find the boot in Scary Movie, the guy screams out, "Where's the foot?" And to me, that's one of the funniest lines I've ever heard.
Oh my God, where's the foot?
Right.
Scary Movie that had a lot of funny things going for it.
Shriek, if you know what I did last Friday the 13th.
I didn't see that one.
I have not seen that one either.
I heard of that one.
I have seen it. I don't remember anything about it.
Oh yeah, and now they're making another Scary Movie, and I'm just like, to the writers of the Scary Movie franchise, it's like, just stop already. You know, like it's just like the humor in it was funny back in 2000, like the early 2000s, but it just got cliched.
I was good with it until it started doing number 4, and then that's when it went off the rails for me.
Yeah,
a strong hand.
Yeah, no, it's so stupid.
All right, guys, I'm going to be heading out. I got a story to write. So
okay,
all right, man, have fun.
Good luck, fun, Jeremy. Thank you for popping in.
Good seeing you, Jeremy, and happy 4th of July for you.
Yes, happy 4th of
you
July,
guys
Jeremy.
too, because
and
see that big window right there.
Oh, yeah?
It's daylight.
Yeah,
it's only 7 o'clock here.
It's 10 o'clock here.
It's 8
here.
Well,
It's
you know what, Tom?
Chris.
In your world, that's your problem.
That's right. This is Tom's world, by the way.
Yeah, this is
everybody. You guys have a good night.
Yeah,
have a good one, Jeremy.
Yeah, really kill it in those casinos.
Enjoy the heat.
No.
How about you?
Best answer ever. Right?
Rip-offs to movies and TV shows make things worse. Like, oh my God, don't even mention Velma. Ugh.
Don't remind us.
Yeah. Okay, you just mentioned that show. I'm next time it's mentioned, I may have to run to my restroom and vomit.
I'm just gonna poop in my chair.
Did we forget about Ryan Felipe being in this movie?
Oh yes, Ryan Felipe. He played Barry in this.
Yeah.
Trying to remember what else he was in. I don't remember him being in that many other big roles other than this. Trying to remember.
Let me click. Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, that was a big movie for him.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Which that was also Sarah Michelle Gellar, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Wow, man! So. What is this? The Brat Pack? What's going on here?
I just remembered another familiar face in this. It was Bridget Wilson, who played Helen's older sister Elsa. Well, so yeah, but an older sister named Elsa, who unfortunately in this film does not have ice powers. Would have been helpful.
But she did let it go. She did let it go.
Yes, but and Hesh. Yes, I remember her. And in this, also along with that terrible Psycho remake that came out a year later, that was
Well, and also another thing too, the actress that I forgot to mention, the actress who plays Elsa on the film, and just 2 years later, she starred in the remake of House on Haunted Hill.
Yep, I believe she was also Sonya in the 1995 Mortal Kombat. Sonya Blade. And Billy Madison. Yeah, Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Oh yeah, so there are quite a few familiar faces in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
These people get around.
They do. That's
like
Hollywood.
All their breakthroughs, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's Hollywood for you. And also I just love all that scene where they ended up hitting that guy, and then they got out of the car, and then Julie discovers that what they at first they thought they had a deer, but then they discovered a bloody boot on the ground and realized this was no deer.
Where's the foot?
Excuse me for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
And also, one thing that did raise questions. They transported I consider these guys lucky that they didn't actually get caught, because when they were transferring the body over to the docks to dump it, pretty sure that the body left some blood inside the trunk, and even if you did clean it off, I'm pretty sure that cops will be able to detect that with some luminol. I've seen them do that on Forensic Files.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But if they kept it a secret, then there'd be no reason for the cops to test it. So, and then they could, maybe they burn the car, and who knows?
Yeah, burn the car. That would raise questions as well.
Well, we were smoking a joint, and somebody dropped it, and the car just set on fire. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, never. Oh my God. Yeah, and I like the comment that Barry said. He's like, when they were trying to figure out, when they wondered who the guy was, they were just said, Barry was just like, let's just pretend he's an escaped lunatic with a hook for a hand, and we did everybody a favor. And I'm just like, yeah, but that's a little foreshadowing for you.
See, when they found the boot, they should have said, since when did deer wear boots? That would have been a nice little comedic,
If they did that in Scary Movie, maybe, yes.
Well,
recipes to. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Bill Cobb he died a few days ago.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yep, rest in peace.
We're losing people from Hollywood left and right this week. What the heck? Or this past week?
This past year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just what was it? It was Donald Sutherland and Martin Mull.
Oh yeah, Martin.
Just in the last week.
Man.
Now this guy.
Oh yeah. So, after this accident, and then they dumped the body. They were it's like 1 year later, and it's just then there's a killer in a fisherman slicker outfit and armed with a hook, and turns out this is the person they hit, and he's not out for an apology. He's out for blood.
I would be too.
Well, it happens that way,
We'll have to watch our backs then for you, Chris.
Only if you throw me in water after hitting me with that car.
Yeah.
Well, you got to wear boots though.
Yep. Yeah. And I just like the whole twist of this is that it turns out that that they thought that the person they hit was David Egan. Turns out David Egan was the guy that we saw in the very opening scene of the movie, that he was sitting on the cliff and had like this jewel he was looking at. Oh, and it turns out that David Egan was engaged to the killer's daughter, Susie. Yeah, and then a year before this, there was a car accident that Susie ended up dying in, and Ben Willis blamed David Egan for her death, and then pushed him. Then it didn't show it in that scene, but right after what we saw of David Egan, that cliff, Ben showed up and pushed him off the cliff and killed him. And then Ben Willis was on his way back from that, and that's when he got hit in the road.
Karma.
Yeah, it's like he gets mad at them for trying to kill him when he was doing the exact same thing intentionally that night.
Right. He got away with
it.
You Rooney and Dave Van. I remember that.
I hear the faint voice of Nick.
Hey, that's good to see you.
He forgot to leave that trail of popcorn so he could find his way back.
Yeah, he's like lost in the dark, back in the lights in the back end of his basement. I'm back here. I can't wait. No, we gotta get it.
I'm over here, and I can't get
back. And I just like how this movie takes place in like a coastal town. I believe it's called Southport in North Carolina. Yeah. And these guys really love their 4th of July celebrations, like long parades and crowning like a beauty queen, I guess, high school beauty queen. It's like all hail the fish queen.
Ew.
I know, because I know that's pretty much what the whole theme was, fish.
Yeah, I know, really. It's a fishing town.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I believe the that scene where they're making out at that place called what was it? Dawson's
Creek.
Dawson's Beach. That was definitely a homage to Dawson's Creek, which was also written by Kevin Williamson.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait.
Oh God! Don't even sing that song. I hear that at work almost. No, seriously, they play that song. They used to play that song almost every day at work, and it used to drive me crazy.
Well,
they
that's good.
Play it every now and then, but not as frequently as they did a few years ago. So don't even remind me of that song.
No, that's because they want you to watch the show.
You know what? I'd rather listen to that terrible version that Peter Griffin made on Family Guy.
Oh God! Jesus Christ. And also, the fishing town gives me Jaws vibes. Okay, yeah, I can kind of see that.
Jaws 5.
Jaws 5. Yeah, never gonna happen.
You sharked it.
Yep, never happening.
No, but they probably will remake the original at some point. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
it almost 50 years now.
Yep. And so, I wanted to ask you guys, what was your favorite scene from this movie?
Oh Christ, I don't remember.
Hey, Jenny. Jenny is in the chat. Good to see you.
Hey, Jenny.
She's from Ireland.
Ireland.
My Irish sister.
Yep, she's here. She's talking to us from Ireland, boy.
Right.
And I'm of Irish descent, so I wanted to know the accent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I'm Irish too. My last name is Nally.
Is that Irish?
Yeah, it used to be McNally. You know, are you familiar with Rand McNally, the map maker? Map maker.
Yep.
I mean, I'm doing typos in my speech. That's weird.
Well, Kate is
bears there.
Yeah. Well, Kate has told me that she's looked into my last name. Apparently, it's of Italian nobility. Apparently, like my ancestors may or may not have been noble knights during the Italian Renaissance.
Well, the majority of your last names that end in a vowel are usually Italian.
Okay, Nick.
Well, mine is.
Even though yours is probably a shortened version of what it originally was.
Thanks, Jenny. Well, hey, glad to know that my Irish genes are still strong in me.
Yeah.
I grew up pronouncing my last name wrong for many years.
Oh, wow.
And I was like talking to somebody on the phone at my grandma's house, and I think it was my girlfriend, and she wanted to know how I said my last name and spell it and stuff. And my grandpa overheard me, and he had a heyday.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Oh, man.
That's a good scene.
Yeah, that is a good scene. Nick, what's your favorite scene?
I think it would have to be, because I recently saw it too. Again, it's been a number of years since I watched it, but I have seen a couple of parts, over the last few months or so. And the part that I think I really enjoyed was the scene where Sarah Michelle Gellar's character is running from the fisherman, is trying to get into her sister's store, and just that music that goes along with it. It just, I don't know what it is, that chase music that you hear. Yep. It just sounds so intense. It sounds so angry in a way.
Yeah, it does. And I believe that scene was an homage to Halloween.
That's what I thought too. This was like almost like the 90s again, like a 90s version of that. Like take on that in some way.
It's weird though when you say Sarah Michelle Gellar and then you talk about a chase scene. I just see I see a camera shot of a long hallway with a bunch of doorways on either side, and then running in this one and out that one.
Oh my god, classic.
I like the very end scene. I still know what you did.
I haven't seen this movie. It's worth seeing, and it's not the best movie, but I have seen far worse movies than this. And
it wasn't bad for.
It's not bad for a '90s slasher. Not bad.
Yeah.
So it's
I
worth
saw it in
seeing,
the theater. I was happy.
Which is much more than I can say about the sequels. I mean,
oh god,
it's like I still know what you did last summer was pretty iffy. I mean, the whole premise of it is they win a contest to go to for a trip to Jamaica but the thing is, like, how would the killer be able to set that up? How is that?
Yeah,
that's weird. And it's like
you see him on a plane traveling with the slicker on and the hook in his hand.
Yeah,
economy class. He's like wedged in there.
Yeah,
and that's what this whole thing was. Like the whole trip was just the whole trip contest was a trick, but made by the two killers. Ben Willis, who comes back with his who is joined with his son Will, who Will basically infiltrates the group under the alias Will Benson.
Will Wheaton.
Yeah, Will Ben's son.
Wheaton.
It's like a poor. What a poor alias that is. Like Will Benson, Ben's son. That's like if I tried disguising my name. It's work. I'm Don Frankson, Don Elmy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm Don Elmy, Frank's son.
Don Elmy Frankson.
Say cool.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Wait, what did you say, Chris?
I said say cool it. Tom did the Will.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, Nick, that would be a poor like alias, and like if I did the same thing, Don Frankson.
Yeah.
But somehow Will managed to get away with that through the whole film, and they managed to off Jack Black. Yeah, that's one of his earliest films. He played like this.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember he was like this white Jamaican guy obsessed with pot. He was what was his name? Titus. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
that character was so dumb.
I think I still know what you did.
For you, though.
Oh yeah.
I think I put that out of my mind. I know
I
saw
always
it,
know what you did last summer.
Yeah. I mean, I know what you did last summer. This movie is basically a gem definitely compared to its sequels. Especially, I'll always know what you did last summer. That was horrible.
Oh,
yeah, I did not see that one.
Don't watch it.
Don't.
Yeah. Tom, I'll just let you know what the whole twist is. That even after Jennifer Love Hewitt had gunned down Ben Willis at the end of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, he comes back as a supernatural undead entity targeting a bunch of kids. Like, he's not in like Southport anymore, North Carolina. He traveled all the way to Colorado to target some kids who had nothing to do with anything in the first two movies.
What a twist!
You're in trouble, Chris.
I don't even care if I'm spoiling it for you. I'm really doing this. I don't even care that I'm spoiling it. I'm doing this to help all of you.
I will never see it, so it doesn't
Good.
matter. In general, I try to steer away from like sequels. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, while this movie was good, and while I may not remember every little detail of it, I do remember leaving the theater thinking, that wasn't bad. Yeah. And then I kind of remember I Still Know What You Did, but I remember enough to know I don't want to see any more going forward. You know what I mean? Like, it was just no.
Yeah. Fun fact: the sorority house in Scream 2 was out. Oh yeah, you know what? I think I read about that somewhere. Yeah,
I put a spell on you.
Yeah, that house was used in other movies. So, wow, that's awesome. And let's see. I have to admit, Sarah Michelle Gellar back then was so gorgeous. Well, she was 18 back then.
Well, we were all gorgeous at 18. I still am.
All of us were.
I still am.
Nick's still 18.
Well, no. Wait, hang on a second.
And he's wearing a glow-in-the-dark nightie.
Tom, I also have to remind you, too, that, you're 35 years old. And you are divorced and still living in a van down by the river.
I would love to be divorced and living in a van down by the river if I was 35. I will tell you what. Because that's better than being 49.
Yes.
And living with your dad.
Well, I think Sarah was 20, I think, at that time when they did, because she was born in 77.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, she's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah, it's about right. Yeah, that's what I like about this teen slasher that actually had some teens in it.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, for those of you wondering, the killer in this film, Ben Willis, was played by Muse Watson. Yeah, he's had a pretty lengthy acting career. Here, let me pull up his profile here.
His IMDb.
IMDb. There you go. Yeah,
he played BB.
Internet Movie Database.
That's the NCIS. Yeah, I remember that show. NCIS. He was in a few. Oh yeah, Prison Break. Yeah, he mostly was known for doing all kinds of TV shows.
So like secondary, thirdary, or however you say that.
Yeah,
like never main characters, kind of.
Oh yeah, he played a lot of secondary characters. Yes,
supporting roles. How about that? There we go.
Oh wait, yes. Now I remember. I was trying to remember this bad movie on Sci-Fi Channel that he was in. I just remembered. It's called
Sharknado.
No. No. This was back in 2004. It was called Frankenfish.
I remember
same line.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was about these giant mutated snakeheads.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
No, and it was horrible.
It was bad.
It was.
Let's see. The guy who directed Spawn, he directed it.
Yeah, that could have been something that I can't. As I'm always going to point out, that looks like something that could have been like a Rick and Morty episode, right, Tom?
You know what? I don't like this movie, and it sucks. I mean, it's right up there with Sharknado. I gotta say.
Here, let's see if I can find a picture of it, just to give you guys an idea.
Frankenfish.
Yeah, Frankenfish.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Let's see. Okay,
it's alive.
Okay, I found something in it. I'm pretty sure I remember what he played, like that guy that got killed off near the beginning. But yeah, here's one of the clips.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The cover art's even worse. But...
Yeah, the cover art looks like is a joke.
It looked like a turd with a fin.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah. And we talked about this before that you mentioned two of the cast members who were in Scooby-Doo. Yeah, like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yeah, they played Fred and Daphne in that. And then that same year that movie came out, they got married.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so and they met on the set of this movie of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, because I mean that's where they hooked up pretty much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and let's see. So what about you, Chris? So what was your favorite scene in this?
I liked the very end when the mirror thing said, "I still know what you did," and it was kind of like, "Oh crap!"
Yep.
Now they screwed that up with the sequel, as we talked earlier. But,
well, they probably didn't realize they would make a sequel because they probably said, "You know what? This probably isn't going to do that well."
Right.
I'm pretty sure they intended for a sequel because the sequel came out the very next year. And yeah, they wanted to do
most of those horror movies when they made them back then. Even in the 70s. Whether or not they had plans to make a sequel, they left them wide open.
Well, yeah.
In order so that they could, if this one does well at the box office, well, if we did it, that well, we could do even better next time.
But I could tell you one horror movie that came out in that time era where they did not leave it open for a sequel, but it still got 2 sequels after that.
Huh. Which one?
Evil Dead.
Yeah, okay. I knew you were going to say that one. Yeah. I was actually going to say, what? This is Tom's World?
No, there hasn't been a sequel yet.
Yeah.
We're still in the original.
Yep, I finally remember first seeing Evil Dead at 10 years old.
I actually saw Evil Dead 2 before I saw the original Evil Dead, and I had a hard time finding it until like the high-speed internet started up. Because like with dial-up, you weren't getting a whole movie. You would have to download it for like 2 days to get a whole movie.
Try 3.
But like with the high-speed internet, like when that started coming out, and then we had it here, I could actually look around and I found it and I watched it. I was like, man, that was way more gruesome than 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I was like very little, I believe, at the time when people were still using dial-up. But like I didn't use the internet back then. But yeah, the time when I started using the internet, I believe dial-up was starting to become a thing of the past.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, it moved pretty they moved pretty fast. I mean, I was around and playing around with computers when there was like 1900 baud modems.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you put the phone receiver right on the damn thing.
Yeah, but you'd have to be, you get a call or like if you had call waiting or something like that, it would interrupt the connection.
Yeah.
So now it would interrupt the downloads. And back then to find anything, you had to go to bulletin boards because there was no internet.
Right,
But
there wasn't much in the way of search.
It didn't take them long to go from the old 1900 baud modems because I was like upgrading my modem almost every year.
Right.
And then when it got to 56K, Ethernet came out and DSL came out.
Yeah.
I thought that ass was like 56K.
But DSL was still running through the phone line, so it was still very limited.
Right. Mm-hmm. It still was unstable and you didn't have a lot of the, if the phone calls comes in, you still had interruptions.
Yep.
Right. Internet technology has really vastly improved, especially over the past 20 years.
Well, now they got what is the one? TDS in my area is doing fiber optics or something now.
Yeah.
And later on, I mean, if you wanted, I wanted to start my own radio station, online radio station. All right. And there was a thing called pirate radio. But in order to do it, I had to have a static IP address.
Welcome to WTHC.
In order to get the static IP address, because in order to get that static IP address that doesn't change, it always stays the same. It was going to cost, a ton of money.
Yeah.
And now we can do that with just things like YouTube.
At that time, they also had, what was it? It was better than DSL and the Ethernet lines. But it was very expensive to have.
Yeah, you basically have to have your own server. That's like
pretty much.
Well, I was almost built one, and I almost had it complete before I had to move.
Let's see. Let's see what. Also, like a few of you were saying before about how bloody this movie got. They actually were intending to make it not so bloody, but then after a test audience, they just were. Yeah, like that's just an example of how we're becoming more and more used to horror movies being more bloody and gruesome, and so. And when test audience demanded it, they decided, okay, we got to reshoot some of the scenes. We got to reshoot the scene where Johnny Galecki has a hook right through him, through the underside of his chin, and then blood coming out. And so this was going to be a lot more graphic than what they intended. Like the director in an interview, I believe he once said that the original cut of this movie was like the least bloody movie he had ever done.
Wow.
Yep. So they had to throw it all in.
Wow.
And one scene that I thought was pretty dumb. Like where Sarah Michelle Gellar was running out of the store, like after Elsa was dead. She was like running from the killer, like seemingly lost him, like was just running right to the end of the alley where the parade was going on, right? And we'll just look behind her, and I'm just like, what are you looking behind you for? You're just feet away from safety. Just run to the crowd where you're out in the open, people can see you. But no, the killer ends up grabbing her, like pulling her to the side, and then offs her. He was just he was that close. That close
like the commercial. Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that one.
Horrible start.
And not only that, but also in that scene, I'm thinking, wow, this town really has some very long parades because that parade started in like the early afternoon, I think, and it's still going on into nightfall.
Wow.
They just keep circling.
And I have to say, Santi and Thomas, you're only saying that because you don't get to look at them right now. That's why. It has nothing to do with how quiet it is. You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I would even.
You know what? We know what you're talking about, and we can read between the lines. How about you read between the lines?
They are your Mortys right there, Tom. That's your Morty right there.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, Kate is going to be joining us again soon. Yeah, she's just getting back from Japan. She's been trying to sleep off the whole jet lag issue.
Yep.
So, I mentioned that. I mentioned the jet lag is rough from that. So,
well, she still is.
That's a flight, man.
Well, then
I was gonna say that.
I'm checking my message.
She's got to adjust the time difference.
That too.
And you're not talking like an hour or two,
well, all of a sudden,
you're talking, 6, 7, 12-hour time difference between here and Japan.
And
wait, I accidentally muted the computer. That's why.
Well, we heard you the whole time.
Yep. I am. And I gotta say, like, a lot of people like say that Jennifer Love Hewitt seemed legitimately scared, like played the role like so nicely, being like terrified, doing all those screams. That's because she actually was scared making this movie. Yeah, like
I can imagine
she was terrified. Like so basically all the scenes where she was freaked, like that was legit. Like like the killer jumping out, like all that. But now that I'm remembering, I just remembered something. You guys remember the show Boy Meets World, right? They actually did a Halloween episode where it was right after she made this movie. She actually was a guest star in that. She played a scream queen in that as well.
Wow. And do we know where that TV show was based?
Let's see. The
Boy Meets World?
Yeah, Boy Meets World. The movie was based in North Carolina.
Well, no, the TV show Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia. Right, because you're from Philadelphia, Tom.
Do I get a free Tom World shirt for that?
Hey, can you imagine? Okay, I got to say this right now. Imagine Tom doing an episode of This Is Tom's World, and he gets caught up with a crazy fisherman like that.
Tom Meets World.
Tom Meets World?
Tom Meets World.
Oh, my God.
Only if I can have Mr. Feeney on there. I'm just...
Oh yeah,
Topanga, she could be on there or not. I don't care.
Topanga, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, like just one of those actors from Boy Meets World who played Sean Ryder Strong. He ended up starring in what was it? Cabin Fever. Yeah, Cabin Fever.
That's right.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings.
With everybody talking, it sounded like you said Justin Bieber instead of Cabin Fever. I was like, wow, they made a movie?
No, this was pre-Justin Bieber years.
Well, yeah.
2003, Cabin Fever made. It was made. Yep, 2002. Yeah.
Oh, they're coming for me.
What'd you do?
Oh, jeez.
Take me away,
I said Justin Bieber.
The Funny Farm.
I said Justin Bieber. They're coming for me.
Stash the stuff. Go.
Everybody's ducking out. What's going on?
Hey, you know what? You know who they really are? If you remember that Family Guy skit, there was the internet police. You're going away for a long time.
You're going to Facebook jail.
Yep. Hurry up. Hurry. Protect your pickles.
What was that skit like when Stewie and Brian ended up in prison for they asked an inmate, something says, "Hey, what are you here for?" They said, what was it that they said? You remember that one?
Not off the top of my head.
I just saw it and I can't remember.
I haven't been watching Family Guy in so long. I'm out of touch. That's right. He stole them right out of the field.
Oh, hey, Leon. Yes, I'll check that out later on. Yeah, but we mentioned earlier, Tom, that I Know What You Did Last Summer was parodied in several shows, including The Simpsons. That's the one I remember most.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Well, somebody said earlier they did something on Robot Chicken too.
They did. Yeah, there was. I Know What You Did Last Summer with the Bratz dolls. Yeah, they decided to make that into I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh yeah.
From Robot Chicken. I remember that one.
Yeah, there was like a Barbie that they killed or something, wasn't it?
Yep.
In that, yeah. Oh my God, how the hell did I remember that?
Oh yeah, I mean, Seth Green. He was always a comedic genius. So
it says there's even a Dawson's Creek episode where they spoof it.
Yep, that's true.
I remember what that skit was. I actually just looked it up for Tom. So what are you here for? I said Caitlyn Jenner wasn't brave and beautiful. Right? There's some bad people in here.
Oh my God. Do you guys do this every Tuesday? Yes, we do this every Tuesday evening, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And let me go over the while we're here. I'm gonna let you know the lineup that I've got planned for this month. Here.
While you're doing that, I got to go back.
And I do my show every
I got it right
Monday.
here. Nick, you're gonna want to be here for next week because you know what I'm planning on covering.
What's that?
The original Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp, classic slasher film from the 80s.
Let's see.
And
how about I piss on your grave?
I didn't. Oh God, I didn't steal
the original.
It's I spit on your grave.
Not the remake.
It's
the original.
It's called I spit on your grave, not I piss on your grave.
No, it's like
right.
That's
I know.
No.
And
just
yeah. Here's another one. The Descent.
The Descent. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we actually can do one on the 23rd because I'm going to be out of town that day. So I'm trying to think if that's possible because I would love to cover Abigail with you guys.
Abigail's so
Now
awesome. I've seen it 3 times
watch
now.
Party.
What'd you say, Birdie?
Watch party, he said.
Watch party, dumbass.
Well, I couldn't tell there was other people talking at the time. All I heard was
damn it, Beavis. I didn't say Birdie. I'm going to kick your ass.
Hey, I almost got a new Beavis and Butthead t-shirt today.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely expect us to cover Abigail this month.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's when I'm here.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to be gone for 4 days.
Oh. I see. Where are you going?
I am going to Michigan. I cut my trip short.
Oh, okay.
So we're just going to head to Michigan, and we're going to investigate Eloise and a couple other places. But Eloise is the top. I mean, it's like the most famous place we'll be involved in investigating.
Oh,
nice.
So it's Eloise Insane Asylum.
So you guys aren't stopping by here in the Chicago area then?
No, because we can come to Chicago anytime.
Okay.
You know, because it's that close for us.
Yeah. That's understandable.
And this is like a 6-hour drive. We've got the hotel booked, but we are booked for definite to investigate Eloise.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Nice.
Nick, are you hot or are you just doing that for ambience?
Both.
Okay. Because you do know that doing that actually exerts more energy than your.
And then I'm going to take. And then we're taking museum, the what was it, Motown Museum, and then
that's where Motown is.
Yeah, and then there's a couple other cool places that we're just going to check out. And I'm going to take all kinds of pictures and stuff. So
it's not hard to
really
do, Sandy. We can get him laughing anytime we want.
Yep.
Bernie!
There it is. There it is.
And there we go.
Hey, you know what? I got to make that. Okay. Since I got your number, Joe, anytime I get a text message from you, I got to have that recorded. I know
there's been a couple people that said that. There's been a couple people that said that in us playing it, that they want that as their ringtone.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, no.
I can only imagine.
And also, we got to talk here. We got to also discuss the climax, the end of this film. So where everything is finally revealed, where Julie Julie ends up figuring out who the killer really is. She guesses correctly that it was Ben Willis, who was the father of David Egan's girlfriend, who Susie Willis, who was killed in that car accident, and also Ben's boat was I believe her name is in it. What was it called? There's oh here, hang on.
Billy Blue.
Yeah. That was just Billy Blue was an alias that Ray was using to visit the what was his name? His sisters at the funeral of what was it? David Egan's sister at the funeral to pay respects. That's why he was guilt stricken because he thought that they had killed David Egan. So he wanted to pay respects and also give condolences to his sister, who was pulls
the hood back and look at me, I'm Mr. Meeseeks.
And
I did that for Nick.
And so David Egan's sister Melissa was played by Anne Hesh. in this. Yeah, so a year before Psycho, that god awful Psycho remake. Ugh. And the Ben's boat's name was Sweet Susie, who he named after his daughter, who he wanted revenge for. And of course, Julie figures this out. It's a chase. It's a game of cat and mouse. Ben is chasing Julie, and then she comes across the bodies of Helen and Barry. Buried in these ice cubes, buried beneath all this ice in the storeroom.
All the ice, like a freezer of some sort.
Yeah, he just wanted to keep the bodies fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the fresh maker.
Yes, and so then finally when it seems like Ben Willis has them cornered, then Ray sets off this control. Oh, we just lost Joe. Then Ray sets off the ropes, and then he gets then that Ben ends up getting snagged on with this hook, ends up cutting his right hand off, and then he gets caught in some more ropes that throw him right into the water. And they suppose, and it's maybe it could have been possible that he could have died from blood. It could have been possible that he could have died from blood loss, but they had to have a sequel.
Yep.
The water was cold enough; it kept him frozen. No.
Frozen through time. Yes.
And he fell into the water, and she's like, "Come back, Jack." And then he came back.
It was the same year Titanic came out.
That's funny.
And I just like how when they were just talking about that whole ghost story about the hook, and that ended up becoming reality because in the next film, since having his hand torn off, he actually did replace his hand with the hook.
Yep. The only thing that's missing is that he didn't escape from a local insane asylum.
Peter Pan.
Yep.
Yep. He's
what the hell was that? He's probably Captain Hook.
Yeah, he's probably after Peter Pan as well. He could.
Yeah.
that actually was my Tim Curry version of Captain Hook from the old cartoon from the 90s, Peter Pan and the Pirates, that was on.
Oh wow.
I mean, I'm close enough. I'm just saying, as you
Peter Pan.
I mean,
that's a damn good Tim Curry. Don't listen. I know.
And so now they're actually working on a sequel that is a direct sequel to the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, and which brings back Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. And at this point, I'm just really wondering if it really is necessary.
So they come on with their walkers, and
I mean, I'm pretty sure they'd be in their 40s by now.
No, if she was born in 77, she's 47.
That's 40s.
Yeah, that's 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Should be almost 50 by the time they get
almost
done
50. Yeah, I was gonna say she's around Sarah Michelle Gellar's almost Tom's age.
Yeah,
and,
she's 2 years younger.
But they're planning for a 2025 release. So next year. And I'm just wondering where can you possibly go from here? Especially after that god-awful sequel. I mean, maybe it'll ignore the events of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer and I Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, please tell me.
Well, you said it was based off of the original, so that would mean they'd bypass the...
Yeah, I'm really hoping that's the case.
It would be like an alternate timeline. If I had a chalkboard, I would draw it on there for you to show.
Yeah. I mean,
here's the past, and here we are here, and then
back to the Future style.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, the Halloween franchise did that twice, to several alternate timelines.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can't. I don't know if it is a good idea. I don't know if it isn't. I'm not sure if it's something we really need.
No, Hollywood needs to get an imagination.
Yeah.
They need to stop remaking stuff.
Totally different.
Yeah. Well,
and now for something completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's one horror film I'm interested in seeing called Long Legs, which which is supposed to be like a horror thriller, like a crime thriller, like Silence of the Lambs, and supposedly Nicolas Cage is playing the main villain.
That'll be perfect.
I already know where this is going.
You'll have to talk about that one and have Kate on.
My long leg.
That's right. I'm out for blood. Let's see. Let me look this up. Long legs. Here we go.
I could not do olive oil.
Oh, it's wait. It's got an 8.3 out of 10 stars on IMDb. Wow.
Hey.
I'm guessing it's got some early screenings, so it's already getting good praise. What?
Lauren.
I can't.
It says 5/12.
I'm not Shelley Duvall. I can't do that.
You're better off with Rick and Morty.
Let's see. Oh, Oz Perkins directed this.
And Nathaniel said that my Captain Hook was more like Dustin Hoffman.
Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt.
It says Oz Perkins directed Long Legs. He was mostly an actor, though, so this is actually a surprise.
And written by him, too.
Wow.
Long Legs is a story about a model who goes awry.
No,
that's what I say. Be careful what you click when you type in Long Legs.
No, Jesus. Oh, here it says, in pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers the series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. So it sounds like it has some similarities to Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So nice to see you, Clarice.
Movie.
Yeah.
101 minutes long.
Yep. Don't get too close to the glass, Clarice.
Oh, jeez.
I'm looking at some of the names of these people.
I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Bruce Harker.
Some fava beans and a nice Chianti sauce.
There actually is something I'd like. Okay, hang on 1 second here. What is Daniel said? Tom sounds a bit like. Oh yeah. Oh wait, you already responded to that one. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this. I was right. If SpongeBob would go back in time to the future, Nick Mulay would be the first he would come across while being dressed up as Freddie Mercury.
Wait. He'd be dressed up as Freddie Mercury in the video of I Want to Break Free.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, what here? Oh, I just thought of a scene we haven't just talked about is where Barry, who just really wants to keep the whole car accident, hitting the guy and dumping the body a secret. It was his car that hit him, and so there was that scene where he was in the gym working out, but then he goes to the lockers to get dressed up, and then comes across a Polaroid of his car. Back of it says, "I know." So then the killer takes his car and then runs into him right through a sign. And I'm just thinking, man, that would cause some serious injuries if it happened in real life. I feel like, yeah. And then the killer just walks over to him, hovers over him, face covered by that slicker, right? And then, with Barry like freaking out, begging for his life, but then the scene just dissolves and then cuts to Barry in the hospital. And I'm just like, wait, what?
That's right.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off back then when I first saw this.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm just like, so why the killer could have offed them right then and there.
He was messing with their heads.
Yeah. So it's like it slowly escalates to the point where he starts killing them. He doesn't kill at first. He just does things that terrify them. With Sarah Michelle Gellar, just like sneaks into her house, waits in the closet until she goes to sleep, and then cuts her hair. But it doesn't even look like it doesn't look like he really did much as far as cutting her hair. I mean, he could have just gone down to the scalp and that would have done something.
I mean, that's worse than killing for some girls, though, if you get their hair cut wrong.
Yeah. Well, messing with her hair. But I'm just saying, he could have messed with her hair far worse than that.
Absolutely.
So it's basically considered like an act of humiliation.
Well, yeah, there's that. But I'm just saying, he could have done much worse than that as far as hair cutting. He could have just
one little.
Yeah, he could have just gone right down to the scalp and got that off.
Yep.
Like create bald spots. Yeah, he could have done that, but no. But let's see. Then places Max's body inside of Julie's trunk, and then magically he removes it in broad daylight.
Quick.
And then she just screams out, "What are you waiting for?" Yeah, I remember that. That's one of the most iconic.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of them.
Oh, yeah. I did love how they parodied that in a Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, where there was something else going on. I believe there was a staff member of their high school that was going to jump, but then right in that same area, where Sydney and the friends were discussing something that had nothing to do with what was going on, and was saying the killer's messing with us. She's screaming out, "What are you waiting for?" And then the guy who's going to jump thinks that she's talking to him. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
I actually thought that was funny. That was dark but hilarious.
All right, Santi, what do you got to say? I can see he's talking about me again, so let's see what he's got to say now. Here's Johnny would swipe a Lambo and eat a steak fresh off a grill. What the hell?
What?
While he's driving, watching Nick Mulay laugh at everything he said. What the hell is he talking about?
I don't
know. Can you
send
some of that to me, Santi?
We all really like some.
He always wants to come up with some plot line involving. I've noticed.
Yeah, 1987 was a good year for movies because here's what we got. Oh, Men in Black, that was a good one. Oh yeah, Titanic, that was the third and final movie that ever won 11 Oscars in the Academy Awards, and because only 2 other movies had done that. Actually, no, wait, one movie actually did that after Titanic, and that was Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
I actually just referenced one of the Men in Black movies today. Somebody was talking about the old Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons, and they were talking about Dudley Do-Right, and I said he was a Balchinian.
Yeah.
He had that. And then I said, and then they went ahead and made like a live action movie with Brandon Fraser as him. Oh my God, it should have been Bruce Campbell. What the hell were they thinking? He already had the chin. He needed no prosthetics.
Oh, let's see.
Anyway.
Nothing that you were both in common with.
You and I are both in common with laughing. Yeah, I mean, he's got a. I mean, as Tom would say, I'm just saying.
Okay. Oh man, but yeah, like, oh man, like,
another thing to point out. Yeah, this is actually something that I'm surprised no one has pointed out yet, and it's obviously near the end of the movie, where you see the fisherman's true identity.
Mm-hmm.
You realize who it is.
Yeah,
I like how they didn't end him like wearing his fisherman outfit. Because what I love about like where he's just wearing normal clothes is it actually gives like a meaning to it. We hear of like real killers out there, real serial killers out there. Right. And yes, there's been dozens of slasher movies that have been released before, but same thing. It's usually we never see the person, or of course, somebody's getting chased by a guy in a mask. But here you have who the killer is, but he's just wearing normal clothes. He's not this guy that who's wearing a mask. He doesn't have that intimidating look. He doesn't, or threatening look. He just looks like anybody else.
Yeah, oh hey, I'm here to kill you.
Yeah, well, no, it's like that's the scariest part, I think, because he just looks like a normal human being, and he's not even one of those serial killers like you sometimes see in some of the slasher films where maybe they're deformed or disfigured. They have a very uneasy look. He just looks like a normal guy that you could blend in with everybody else, and you would never even suspect that he's a serial killer.
Right, and then how he just basically just tricked Julie into getting onto his boat because Julie had thought that Ray was the killer, but he wasn't. Like Ray, he knocked Ray unconscious, but then Ben Willis, she doesn't know that this is Ben Willis, right? Thinks it's just a random person who came by to help. Then when she gets on the boat and then she goes into his room, she sees like all these newspaper articles and several belongings, including a bit of Sarah Michelle Gellar's hair on the wall, and discovers, oh wait, this guy is like obsessed with us. And I'm like, who would be obsessed with us? And it's like, oh wait, this guy's the killer. And it also had on his wall like a little shrine to Susie, his dead daughter. Yeah. And then Ben finally reveals himself. So when then she asks, you in some kind of trouble? And then she's like, yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble. And he's like, it's a shame. It's 4th of July. Kids like you ought to be out celebrating, partying, running people over, getting away with murder, things like that. That's when he finally revealed himself. That's the killer.
That's right.
But but the worst serial killer was the guy that killed both Captain Crunch and Sonny from Cocoa Puffs. Because, I mean, and the original Toucan Sam, because you'll notice that the guy that they use for Toucan Sam is not the same anymore.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, I have noticed that they've changed. Why unnecessarily change mascots? If it would,
because the serial killers got them. That's really. They had to recast.
Man, what are you checking out?
Listen, I am full of dad jokes. By the way,
okay, I gotta ask what Santi's asking. Have I ever used a grill for the fireworks?
During 4th of July. I think he's asking if you grill during 4th of July.
No, I haven't. I still need to learn how to grill, but
Bless you.
I know I'll be getting stuff for the grill on 4th of July.
Hey, I grill all the time.
Yep.
I grilled. You name it, I've grilled it. Steaks, burgers, ribs.
Human.
Let's see, lobster, crab legs.
Human.
Maybe.
Cats.
Maybe.
Soylent Green.
Cats are really
Pickles?
good on grill.
Wait, what about pickles?
Squirrels.
Pickles.
Yeah, basically anything that comes into the grill, it basically, yeah, sure. Any squirrel that wants to go to the
You
grill.
can grill anything, really.
You can make fried grilled
isn't too
pickles.
bad.
Yeah,
It's like chicken.
Right. If I look out my window, I notice a squirrel has gone in my grill, then yeah, slam it shut and cook it. Right. Yeah, sure.
Why not? The hair will burn off eventually.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
We just turn it inside out.
Yeah, this just got dark.
Very dark.
Yeah.
You get no meat from the tail though, because it's like a rat's tail. Like if you've ever seen a squirrel, like if you've seen a squirrel's tail.
Now you're making me less want to ever have.
Now listen, if you've seen a squirrel's tail, like with the sunlight behind
crab
it,
legs are good.
so you can see right through the hair. It really is. It's like a rat's tail. It's just got hair on it. That's all. So they're just like cute rats.
We get it. You're just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Of course.
Try to make a pizza on a grill yet?
Yeah. Oh, here.
What?
Do you recall me texting on Instagram a little while ago? Oh, yes. I haven't been on Instagram a little bit because it's been acting up like crazy lately. I think I need to update it.
Hello, Clarice.
Oh, yeah.
It's so lovely to see you.
Have the lamb stop screaming?
An impression off.
Since we're
okay, here I'm updating my Instagram right now. Here, it's been like when I go on it, sometimes it just shuts off. It crashes. I mean,
then you uninstall it and reinstall it, and maybe it'll.
Yeah. So hopefully this update, hopefully it improves after that. Yeah.
All this talk about I know what you did last summer, and also this urban legend of the hook. I thought it was actually worth bringing that up, Don. It's been a very long time since I've presented a story about it, and I actually have that scary stories legend video. It's only about 2 minutes, and if you don't mind, I'd like to present it.
Have at it.
Yeah, I mean, normally I don't listen to this until around Halloween, but because of this movie and the legend associated with it, I'm willing to make an exception. So here it is.
This story is for Covenant 368. This story is called The Hook. Donald and Sarah went to the movies. Then they went for a ride in Donald's car. They parked up on a hill at the edge of town. From there, they could see the lights up and down the valley. Donald turned on the radio and found some music, but an announcer broke in with a news bulletin.
A murderer had escaped from the state prison. He was armed with a knife and was headed south on foot. His left hand was missing. In its place, he wore a hook.
Let's roll up the windows and lock the doors, said Sarah. That's a good idea, said Donald. That prison isn't far away, said Sarah. Maybe we really should go home. But it's only 10 o'clock, said Donald. I don't care what time it is, she said. I want to go home. Look, Sarah, said Donald. He's not going to climb all the way up here. Why would he do that? Even if he did, all the doors are locked. How could he get in? Donald, he could take that hook and break through a window and open a door, she said. I'm scared. I want to go home. Donald was annoyed. Girls are always afraid of something, he said. As he started the car, Sarah thought she heard something or something scratching at the door. Did you hear that? She asked as they roared away. It sounded like somebody was trying to get in. Oh, sure, said Donald. Soon they got to her house. Would you like to come in and have some cocoa? She asked. No, he said. I've got to go home. He went around to the other side of the car to let her out. Hanging on the door handle was a hook.
Yep. And that was me, Donald. Most terrifying date ever.
The classic legend, though. Classic urban. Yeah. I should have, because I put that together a few minutes ago. I should have added the image at the end to kind of give that revealing, but I was in such a hurry putting it together.
That's all good. So it's getting close to that time, man. But I know what you did last summer. Definitely a teen horror classic of the '90s. It's definitely up there with Scream, and it's like it's worth going back to, like, especially like on 4th of July.
Yeah.
I really
follow up. I know what you will do next winter.
Yeah. I'll tell you what we're doing next Tuesday. Yeah, next Tuesday we're covering the original 1983 Sleepaway Camp.
Nice segue, by the way.
That was a good segue.
Yeah. It was quick. You fed right off it. It was, I liked it.
Before we also go, Don, it's been a while since I've done this too. You guys want a tour of the basement lights, the house lights like before?
Yes.
Haven't done it since Easter.
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
Full screen.
Yeah, of course, full screen. It's too bad that the others are not here, but we'll take it for what it's worth.
Oh, trippy.
All righty.
I'm seeing trails. What the hell's going on here?
You're seeing different lights. You got some over here, as always.
They're stars.
Yeah, they're stars too. Red, white, and blue.
Cool. Oh, yeah. How about that? How convenient for 4th of July.
Yeah. Go around here. Got some
that was me.
Over here. And then obviously one of the main areas, the attractions over here with all these lights.
I want a pool table in my basement.
I have one in my basement, but it's covered with a bunch of crap.
I've been making use of it.
I used to, but it's been years.
Yeah. So I know you just said, all these lights. I'm tripping out. I'm thinking I was like
sticks.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, when you said, "Well, this looks trippy," I just had to play Inagata Devita.
Of course.
Yeah, I knew you.
I mean, like when he was turning the camera, I was seeing trails coming off of the lights on the camera. It was weird.
Are you on something, Tom?
No, it's your camera.
No, it's because you're moving so fast. They kind of blur and
and they make
it look like they're it makes it look real trippy.
I'm going relatively slow, more than you guys think, actually.
How long does that take you to set up?
Well, also, that StreamYard will only allow for 720 DPI, so you got that too.
It's true. All right, one final spot, and this is where I always end it. Obviously, let's go see Jack, or Uncle Jack, as we'll call him.
All right, let's see.
You better have the hat on.
He don't know Jack.
Chucky's back. Oh wait,
Nightmare Jack, Uncle Jack.
Let's see.
Here he is, guys.
Yes,
Uncle Sam.
Oh, nice.
So he's off right now. So that's Jack off.
Oh, shut up, Tom.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, that's not a curse.
That's like, when I first heard that joke was there was a movie, a Richard Pryor movie called Some Kind of Hero.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And he signed the paper as Jack Mehoff.
Oh,
and then Chris Farley reused that.
Oh my God.
Chris Farley reused that in one.
Yes, he did. I remember that.
Officer Jack, or Officer Mehoff. Jack.
Jack Mehoff.
Fireplace over here, guys.
Jack Mehoff. Jack Mehoff.
And finally,
are those eyes coming through the window there?
That's what it looks like. You got to go.
I know.
It's the killer. Run.
My dad's watching TV.
Run, dude, run.
Does he have a hook?
No.
Oh.
Not yet.
Not yet. He will.
In the sequel.
There you have it.
So what is it?
Whoa.
I got a question. What is it with this fascination and the hook? I mean, you've got in the folklore or legends or whatever you want to call them, like Candyman, where his hand got sawed off and they got replaced with a hook and all of that.
Yeah, not before hitting him with the bees. The bees,
right? Bees. But I mean,
not the bees.
What's with the? I guess they can't come up in an imagination and have something else stuck in there.
See, they could be biting. Like, somebody could bite off of The Sopranos, because in The Sopranos, at one point, Christopher, Tony Soprano's nephew or whatever, like he came up with a movie called Cleaver, where the dude had a cleaver for a hand.
Oh, see, that's different than a hook, at least.
And somebody should make that a real movie.
Oh, here.
Somebody had a chainsaw for a hand.
What would Joe Biden think about the 4th of July? He doesn't have much to say about 4th of July. Okay, he's not a true American like I am. Vote for me. I'll be back in the White House 2024 with a vengeance.
I mean, come on, man, come on.
My wife Hillary begs.
That sounded more like Boom Howard to me, Tom.
Yeah.
Look, it's my best Joe Biden. I don't.
Oh, here.
Come
Tom,
on, man.
Here, Tom. When I was doing this, I was.
Come on, man.
Here, hey Tom. What I was about to say was after saying, "There, I'll be back in the White House 2024 with a vengeance." My wife Hillary begs skipper. My wife. Here, nobody's talking to you, Bill. Why don't you go home and practice your trombone? It's a saxophone, you dummy. Whatever. Get out of here. I can now.
Well, I gotta tell you. No, I was gonna try Obama, but I couldn't get it. I can't get it tonight. Some nights I can get
either.
Obama.
I can't either.
Because
like
when you do Obama, it's like you have to do elongated, like things like that. But I can't get the tone.
Yeah, I can only do Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. That's it.
Well, then there's Ronnie Reagan.
I did not have relations with that woman.
I did not have sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. Despite the fact that my spooge was all over her dress, that blue dress. I mean, anybody could have put that there. I'm just saying.
Jesus Christ, Tom.
You're going to the extreme, but I'd rather if Rick was the president, I think I'd have you speak more like him.
Okay. Well, you know what? Actually, just recently I was talking with Stephanie about the different entertaining presidents. And I said, well, first off, I said, Bill was very entertaining. I'm sorry. I know that there was a lot of stuff that was going on. I know he got impeached right at the end and all that. I said, but he was a very entertaining presence to have as a president. I said, but you know who else was? I said, George Bush. She said, HW. I said, no, just W. HW was boring. I mean, yeah, you had the Dana Carvey, like, not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. Like, you had that, but like W on his own was just entertaining. I mean, who throws a shoe? I mean, you know what I mean? Like that whole he just fooled me once. Shame on me. Fool me twice. We can't get fooled again. He was just totally entertaining in and of himself. Like, I mean, he didn't need characters or Saturday Night Live. Like, he was funny to watch. And we've had a few of them over the years. Jerry Ford was one too.
Yep. Oh man. But all right, so yeah, we gotta wrap this one up here. So yep. So hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the FearFans podcast. Happy 4th of July to all my fellow American subscribers. And yeah, thank you all so much.
Wrap this one up.
Yep.
If we want to get a quick picture before we end, like we always do with our holidays,
please. Yes.
Here,
yes.
Get rid of the comment first because I got the markup capture already. All right.
Great.
You guys ready for it then?
Yes.
Countdown.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, we got it.
All right.
I'll post it later tonight.
All right, that should be a funny one. Man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Yes. So.
Oh my God, you guys got to see Tom's face this.
Oh no.
It is so God. I wasn't even paying attention. That is awesome. Oh, that just made my night.
Yeah, so hope you all enjoyed, and be sure to tune in next week when we cover Sleepaway Camp. Till then, happy 4th of July. Have a good night, everybody.
Happy 4th. Happy
Happy
Independence
4th.
Day.